We are here on Emerson Point for a yoga workout that will slowly work up to building heat and getting you to sweat. Imagine each pose as one rung of a ladder. We will go up one rung at a time and then climb back down. Eventually climbing to the top with our peak pose and then coming all the way down to cool off and relax. So if you're ready to build the heat, sweat it out, and feel full body strong, let's step on the mat. Let's come to the middle of the mat seated, lifting the hands up to the sky, and then placing the left hand on the mat, reaching up and over with the right arm, and back to center, switching sides, breathing into the side body, back to center, and again falling to the left, and back to center, falling to the right. Let's keep flowing from side to side, feeling your side body wakening up, feeling your spine becoming more mobile, and back to center. Let's bring the hands down to the heart and find a moment to ground down into the mat. Let's do our seated cat-cow, arching the back, looking up and rounding the shoulders forward, looking down to the mat. Your hands can stay on your knees or on your hips, whatever is more comfortable. Listen to your body as it shows you where the tension is. Let's lift the hands up to the sky. Bend the elbows, bring the hands to the heart. And now stretch the arms out to the side and even back. And flow them forward, crossing them over the body, reaching open. Crossing the opposite arm, opening up again. Reach the hands up. And hands come to heart. Taking another moment to just take a breath. And now let's twist to the left side, right hand coming onto the left knee, left hand behind the back, and switch sides, looking behind you over your shoulder. Hold, and switching again. Back to the opposite side. We're warming up the spine in a different way now. Inhale and exhale, switching sides. And back to center. Look up. And let's roll out our wrists, making circular motions with the hands. And release the arms up to the sky. Bring the hands down to the heart, taking a deep connective breath, recentering before we move to our hands and knees, knees below hips, wrists below shoulders. Let's move it back and forth, just warming up our wrists a bit more. You can make circles with your body, to the right and to the left, bringing your hips back, bringing them forward. Just really getting a lot of motion into the body, into the wrists. Let's turn our hands to have the fingers facing out to the sides of the mat. Let's move to the right and the left, gently moving. And then placing the fingers toward your knees. And again, moving forward and back, maybe lifting it up a little bit. When you come backward, and then forward, leaning into the wrists. And back again. And let's face the hands forward. Toes are tucked. Let's make circles with our hips. So we're doing a sort of cat-cow where we're dipping the hips, reaching them back, rounding the shoulders a little bit as we move backward. Let's move the other direction now. Just rolling the spine a bit. Do whatever movement feels good for you. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Just move your body in the circular motion, arching or rounding the back as much or as little as you'd like. And let's come back to center. When you're ready, lift up onto your toes, finding downward facing dog, and walking out the feet. Walking the dog, bending one knee and straightening the other, stretching out the hamstrings one at a time. And then from downward facing dog, roll forward into plank and back to downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank and downward facing dog, leading with the hips. And your spinal rolls. Lift up and roll forward. Roll forward to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees and step or hop between the hands, forward fold, and rolling up to Tadasana, reaching the hands up and folding forward again. Lift halfway, step back to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. We're moving right along. Bend the knees, step or hop between the hands, forward fold, roll up to Tadasana, hands reach up, and let's swan dive forward, halfway lift, and step back into downward facing dog. Let's begin climbing our ladder by lifting the right leg up to the sky in three-legged dog. Bend the knee and stack the hips, pointing or flexing the foot, and then making circles with that knee. So lift up and out to the side, down, and up again. Extend the leg out now. Three-legged dog, and place the right foot onto the mat. Downward facing dog. And now the left leg lifts up, bend the knee, stacking the hips, and making a few circles with that left knee now. Reaching up, down, and back up. Stretch the leg out and place the left foot with the right foot in downward facing dog. Let's climb back up, lift the right foot up to the sky, three-legged dog, bend the knee and step it to the outside of your right hand. Finding a sort of lizard lunge, rocking back and forth, maybe rocking from side to side. And then press into the hands, lift the right foot off of the mat, and step back into three-legged dog. Bring the foot down and lift the left leg now. Bend the knee, step it to the outside of the left hand. Shifting back and forth, maybe side to side as well. Really getting into that right hip flexor. And when you're ready, push into the mat with your hands even harder. Lift the left foot up, three-legged dog, and down with the other foot, downward facing dog. Let's lift the right leg again, bend the knee, step to the right side of the right hand, and then reach your right hand up to the sky in our twisted lunge. Hand comes down to the mat. Step back to three-legged dog and down lifting the left leg, bend the knee, and step to the outside of your left hand, reaching the left hand up to the sky in our twisted high lunge. Your hand comes back to the mat, lift the left leg up to the sky, and down to downward facing dog. Great job. Let's keep moving. Right leg lifts up, bend the knee, step to the outside of the mat. Right hand reaches up to the sky. And now let's pivot the back foot to a 45-degree angle, finding extended side angle, and pivoting the foot forward, reaching up with the right hand, and bring the hand down to the mat. Step back to three-legged dog, downward facing dog, and the left leg lifts up, bend the knee, and step to the outside of the mat on the left side. Left hand reaches up, and pivoting the back foot, left hand on the inside of the left foot, right arm reaches up and over an extended side angle, and then hand comes down to the mat, reach the left arm back up to the sky, back to the mat, press into the mat and lift the left leg up, and downward facing dog. You're doing great. Let's keep going. Right leg lifts up, bend the knee, step to the outside of the mat, right hand reaches up, and comes down to the mat, back foot pivoting open to extended side angle. Reach and open up, and let's pivot forward. Left knee comes down to the mat, and let's find our low lunge. Bring the hands down to the mat, pivot open to extended side angle. Hand comes down, pivoting to the right side, down to the mat, lift back to three-legged dog, and downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, bend the knee, step to the outside of the mat, left hand reaches up, twisted lunge. Left hand comes down to the mat, back foot pivots open, extended side angle. Walk the foot in just slightly, lifting to low lunge, hands reach up, and hands back down, walk the foot back out to the side, lift the back knee, pivoting open to extended side angle. Hand comes down to the mat, reach up with the left hand, back down to the mat, and reaching back into three-legged dog and downward facing dog. You're doing great. Let's bring the knees down to the mat for a quick break in child's pose. You can lift up onto your fingertips to open the shoulders a little bit more. And then let's lift back to downward facing dog, reach the right leg up to the sky, and step it to the outside of the mat. Right hand reaches up, twisted lunge, and pivoting open to extended side angle. Back to center, bring the right foot in, drop the left knee, low lunge. Hands come down to the mat, and let's go up one more rung by lifting the back knee and stepping the right foot on top of the left foot, opening up into a side plank. You can stay here or lift the right knee, place it over top of your left knee, intertwining the ankles, and finding a variation of your side plank with equal legs. Breathing into the right side body. And let's untwist the legs, finding side plank. Lift the right foot and step it to the outside of the mat, pivoting the back foot to face forward, hands on the mat, finding low lunge, lift the back knee, open up into extended side angle, and bring the hand down to the mat, pivoting to twisted lunge, right arm reaches up, and down to the mat, Reach the right foot back into three-legged dog and downward facing dog. Let's keep going. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, step to the outside of the mat. Left hand reaches up to the sky and pivoting open to extended side angle. Right arm reaches up and over and back to center, finding low lunge. Let's lift the back knee, step the left foot on top of the right foot now, opening into side plank. Again, staying here or taking it a little bit farther by crossing your left knee over the right, intertwining the ankles, reaching up and over with your left arm, breathing into that left side body. Coming back into side plank, let's step the left foot to the side of the mat, finding low lunge. Lift the back knee, pivot open to extended side angle. Left hand comes to the mat, right hand reaches up. Hand comes down to the mat, reach up with the left hand. Back down to the mat and reach the left leg back into three-legged dog and down to downward facing dog. Amazing job. We have one more rung of the ladder to move up. So gather your strength, dig deep, and let's lift the right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, step to the outside of the mat, reach your right arm up to the sky, down to the mat, pivoting open to extended side angle, left arm reaching up and over, and back down to the mat, finding low lunge. You can lift your arms here or keep them on the mat. Let's lift the back knee and step to side plank, finding your balance on your left foot and your left hand. Staying here, we're taking the eagle legs variation, reaching up and over with the right arm. And now wherever you are, let's lift the right knee and step that right foot back behind you and really push into the left foot. Come down, bring the hips down to the mat and lift up into our wild thing. Come down to the mat, bringing the hips down and reaching up, really arching your back, opening up that right shoulder. And let's find side plank again, going back down the ladder. Step to the right side of the mat, low lunge. Lift the back knee, pivoting open to extended side angle. Hand back down to the mat, reach the right arm up, down to the mat. Step back to three-legged dog and downward facing dog. Great job. One more side. Lift the left leg up to the sky, bend the knee and step to the outside of the mat. Reach your left arm up to the sky, pivoting open to extended side angle. Right arm reaches up, hand comes down, find low lunge. Lift the back knee and stepping the foot on top of the right foot. Just finding side plank or taking the eagle legs variation. And then stepping that left foot back behind you, arching the back, pushing into the right foot, opening up the chest, looking back. And let's bring the hips down, lift the hips up, bring them down, lift them back up. Then pivoting back to side plank, step the left foot to the outside of the mat, low lunge, lift the back knee, pivot open to extended side angle, lift the left arm up to the sky, twisted lunge, back down to the mat, push into the hands and step that leg back into three-legged dog and downward facing dog. Great job. You went up and down the ladder. Let's take a breath. Exhale as you roll forward to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Exhale it all out. Let's bend the knees and step or hop between the hands. Roll up to Tadasana and bring the hands down to heart. Recentering, feeling balanced on your feet. Take a deep inhale as you lift your arms up to the sky. Let's intertwine the fingers, only the index fingers pointing up. And let's lean to the left side and the right side. Hands reach up and swan dive forward, finding forward fold. Let's lift halfway and then step or hop to plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Let's walk the feet slowly forward to the hands, rolling up to Tadasana, reaching up, and hands come down to heart, reconnecting to your breath. Let's reach up again and squatting down into chair pose before we sit down all the way down to the mat, coming onto the back, bringing the knees into the chest, and then extend your right leg out. And with your right hand, bring your left knee to the right side of the mat. Extend your left arm out to the left side and look toward that left hand. Relaxing into the spinal twist. Let's come back to center. Switching legs, right knee into the chest, left leg extended, and bringing the right knee to the left side of the mat, right arm extended out, breathing into the twist, allowing yourself to relax. We're slowing the heart rate down. And back to center. Let's extend both legs out, arms reach up and over, stretch to opposite sides of the mat, and bring it in to a little ball, nose toward the knees. Before we relax everything out, arms and legs are extended, the feet are falling softly to the sides, the palms are open. And every muscle is relaxing. Just enjoy this moment of perfect peace. Let's bring the knees into the chest and roll onto your side or roll up, coming to the center of your mat. Cross-legged, reaching the arms up to the sky and hands come down to heart. Let's do that again. Reach up and hands come to heart. One last time, lift up, reach, stretch up to the sky, and hands come to heart. You did an amazing job. I know that this was not an easy class, but you did it. Thank you for flowing with me, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more.